Prairie Wetlands Learning Center in Fergus Falls offers a unique setting where students of all ages can learn about the prairie pothole ecosystem. Environmental educators here have been developing a unique approach to learning and are eager to share their curriculum with students and educators, both near and far. Matt Connor explains how the outdoor classroom works.
I can remember with great detail what my classroom looked like when I was in 4th and 5th grade. The desks, the blackboard, the teacher in front of the classroom. The only time we went outside would be for recess. And of course, when we went out for recess, it was using the swing sets and outside on the asphalt playing basketball. We didn't have time to look at and investigate and be immersed in nature. The students who come here for school every day with the Prairie Science class, this is their classroom right here. The prairie, the wetlands, this is what becomes the classroom. The students that come here throughout the year, the first few days are here, they have kind of a look of wonderment and not really what to expect. We sit them down, we make sure they're comfortable, and we explain one simple thing. First of all, we say there is no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing, and we go outside every day. This is a really neat thing to think about for today. If it was like this, everyone would say, let's go outside and investigate. When it gets to be 30 below zero, that's when the discipline comes in, as far as going outside and still looking at the world through the eyes of a naturalist. We try to have these kids come out here every day. They study people like Leopold, as well as Rachel Carson, and how they view the outdoor world, and try to see it through their eyes for the day. The core components of our program would be phenology, looking at the events and how they change throughout the year, the wonders in nature that occur over time. We also look at nature journaling. This is using a way for the kids to be reflective and write down their thoughts and record their investigations. And it all ties into what we call place-based education, to know one thing really well. And in this instance, it's the prairie and the wetlands and the local environment here. What we try to do is find ways to fuse what they have to learn in school, their educational requirements, to real examples found in nature.
And watching. You'll be amazed at what happens as you do that. And then an extension of that would be to just ask them to take their journals and record. What did you hear? What did you see? What did you think? You know your class. Base the things you ask them to write based on what you know they can do or the things you want them to develop skill in. But developing their powers of observation is an educational gift. It's a learning gift to become a good observer.
Over 600 acres of rolling prairie, savanna, and wetlands, interconnected by a trail system, are the outdoor classroom for students from Fergus Falls and the surrounding region. Sometimes adults become students, like this group of science teachers participating in a summer field workshop. David Ellis is the instructional systems specialist for Prairie Wetlands.
Well, this morning we had the opportunity to observe 120 children from Fergus Falls Public Schools, 4th grade, 5th graders, and they were standing, getting in the moment. Something that I would say, this is opinion, but there are no children in our nation who have the opportunity to stand in a wild place and actually begin to think and observe what happens in nature. It's called the Prairie Science class. We work with children at the elementary age they're concrete learners. They're not abstract learners. And the reason this works so well is what you see behind me is real. and the connections that teachers can make in writing and teaching children how to write at grade level, the connections teachers can make with science, even in physical science, but especially in the natural sciences. Those connections are real and ones that children can actually build understanding on. So the Prairie Science class, it's a model we believe can be replicated any place in the country. All children need an opportunity to be outside. It also touches on that. Children are not just brains. They're hearts and souls, and they have feelings. And this setting behind me is a place that reaches to the whole child. It's amazing. It changes communities.
In addition to the beauty of the surrounding meadows and savanna, Prairie Wetlands Learning Center has extensive classroom facilities. Teresa Jaskowitz is an environmental education specialist who works with students year-round.
Welcome to the Prairie Wetlands Learning Center's greenhouse. For the last few years, we've had some programs with the Fergus Falls School District where 3rd graders, 4th graders, and 5th graders come in. They collect the seed, we plant the seed, we grow them in the greenhouse. They come in, some of them once a month, some of them once a week. They look at their plants and decide whether it's a grass or a wildflower, which we call forbs. And then they have to go through dichotomous keys in order to figure out what their plant is. We also do root studies with them. They have to look at their roots to see which plant is the best plant. And at the end of the season of growing, what they will do is they will take their plant that they think is the strongest and is going to survive out in the wild, and they're going to plant it in a bed that we've created for them. This is one of the planting beds that the students have put in, and it's 2 years old, and you can see that right now the seeds are actually ready to harvest. And when you can slide your fingers up and they come off easily, they're ready to harvest, and they're all brown.
How do we really tie a study of a place, nature, how do we really tie it in with curriculum? This year we have devised a term which helps us understand it. It's called the compass. And the compass consists of 4 points, just like the points on a compass. The compass is a way back into nature. The compass consists of, number 1, studying place. Number 2, studying naturalists. Number 3, studying phenology. Right now, as we're taping this segment, geese are calling, birds are migrating. What is happening in nature over time? Phenology. And the last one, the piece that holds it all together, is the nature journal. And all of these 4 points of the compass, they bring in literature, they bring in connections with science, and it's a way for a teacher, whether it be a Fergus Falls teacher, a homeschool teacher, a public school teacher, a teacher interested in our nation, in reconnecting his or her students with nature. The compass is a way that we have found. These 4 main points are the way that we do that. And if there was a way to say, in a nutshell, how do you connect children with nature? Phenology, place-based, nature journal, study naturalists. The compass. Research has shown those children who have that exposure to nature over extended periods of time are the people who take care of the environment in a way that makes a difference. And they are the people who, as adults, choose careers that are environmentally based. Does our country need citizens informed in that way? Absolutely.
And just think about the education that they have. I mean, they have a gift that'll last them for the rest of their lives as far as now understanding why nature is so important and what their place is within it.
Whether you're a teacher, a parent, or perhaps you just long to reconnect with nature, consider this an open invitation. Prairie Wetlands Learning Center, just off I-94 at the edge of Fergus Falls.